This video explains the short and long run diagrams for monopolistic competition. As the name suggests, this is somewhere in between a monopoly and a perfectly competitive firm. So we assume that there's a large number of small firms, which means that there's a low concentration ratio. We assume there's low barriers to entry and exit, so it's relatively easy for new businesses to join the market. We assume that firms produce differentiated or branded goods, so they're non-homogeneous. And we know that firms will face an elastic but downward sloping demand curve, somewhere in between the demand curve for a monopoly, which is downward sloping, and the demand curve for a perfectly competitive firm, which is horizontal. That means that in the short run, the diagram for monopolistic competition looks just like a monopoly diagram. It can make a supernormal profit, this area between P and C, for quantity Q. However, in the long run, things are different. Because we've assumed that the barriers to entry are low, if other businesses or want-to-be businesses look at this market and see that supernormal profit is being made, firms are going to join. As more firms join, the demand for each individual firm is going to fall because there's now more competition. Demand will continue to fall and continue to fall until we reach a point where each firm is making normal profit. At that point, there's no more incentive for new firms to join, which means that we've reached the equilibrium in the market. The way we show that is like this. We shift our demand curve and marginal revenue curve to the left. At this point here, when we produce where MC equals MR, we produce a quantity Q1, and the price and the cost are the same. By tracing up to the demand curve and average cost curve, we see that P1 and C1 are the same, which means that normal profit is being made. The way we draw that is by drawing the demand curve, the new demand curve, tangential to the average cost curve. That means drawing them on top of each other so that P1 and C1 are the same. This is the long-run equilibrium of a monopolistic competition firm. The way we draw it without the shifts is like this. This is what a monopolistic competition will look like in the long run, making normal profit where price and cost are the same.